Hey everybody, it is Tuesday and it's 2 o'clock, so that means it's time for Top 5 Tuesday. And I am your host from Crate Insider. I'm Kate Dillon, and I want to thank you for being here. You know how you have those days where everything goes right? And your day is just cruising along and it's a really awesome day and everything works and you have no issues. Yeah, for me, today is not one of those days. So just saying, but I am very happy to be here and to be with my audience. And I have some fun things to share with you guys today. So first of all, I do, just to let you know, I'm flying solo on this show today. Alex is on a vacation, so he's not here. And to help me out, usually we try to drop in links and that type of thing. But for anybody, of course, I record this live on Facebook. For anybody who's here on Facebook, fantastic. Thank you for being here live. And then anybody who wants to watch the replay, you can catch it on YouTube on our Crate Insider YouTube channel. And if you're watching this on YouTube, all of the links for all of the products we talk about today will be in the description. So making it really, really simple. So let's kick this off. I have been really excited to bring you a couple of new products because you never quite know how long it's going to take until a deal comes through. So, you can maybe talk with someone and maybe talk with them again. And as far as, there's a lot of opportunities to meet people in racing, but a lot of times deals just kind of get left on the table. I mean, life happens, you move on and, you're moving in a different direction and things like that. And sometimes manufacturers that I work with, it just takes us a while to get on the to close that deal, to make it happen. And one of those such, I met with KSE Racing Products last year at PRI. So yes, I'm fully aware we're only about 3 months away or 4 months away from PRI, but here we are. And better late than never. And I have a couple of amazing products to share with you guys from KSE Racing Products. One of those is, I'm gonna pull it out here. We're strong believers in, whoops, knocking stuff over here. We're strong believers in running bypass regulators. It's what we recommend with crate engines, always. So if you're not familiar with why you would run a bypass regulator versus just running like a deadhead regulator on your fuel line, I think it was said best. I've heard it described a number of different ways, but when you just run a deadhead regulator, so it's holding that fuel back from getting into your carburetor once you reach a certain pressure. Well, as Willie once told me, Willie from Willie's Carbs, he said, well, what happens in those cases with a deadhead regulator, you're turning your fuel pump into a fuel heater. And anytime you've got hot fuel going into your engine, it's just not going to make as much power as having cooler fuel. So the way a bypass regulator works, many of you are probably familiar with this, but if you're not, then the way this works is that this is on your fuel log. It's regulating the pressure for your fuel. And any of the excess fuel that is, because obviously you want more fuel than that, instead of holding up the fuel and just kind of hanging out in the fuel log and pushing it back to your fuel pump, instead there's another line, and that other line, it takes that excess fuel back to your fuel tank. Now, the reason why is because, let's think about it this way. If you take a hot cup of coffee and you were to dump it in a lake, is it going to make much difference at all in the temperature of the lake? Well, obviously the answer is no. So back in your fuel cell, your fuel is really just kind of at room temperature. And this way you can take that little bit of hot fuel, dump it into the room temperature fuel, and then you've got room temperature fuel. I mean, whatever, it's not really room temperature, but you guys get what I'm saying. Instead of having fuel that's really hot because it's clogged up in the lines and it's getting heated up by your engine, you have this circulation that can give you the best opportunity to have cooler fuel before it goes into your carburetor, before it goes into your engine, and therefore you'll get better power. And so we have sold a couple of different bypass regulators over the years, and we're very much looking forward to the quality of the KSE Racing Products bypass regulator. I've got another product to show you here too, and I don't know if we wrote down how much this is. So no, we did not write down how much this is, so I don't know how much it is, and I'm flying solo here. So anyway, new product on our website, and I could look at that, but I'm going to focus on you guys. All right, so I see we've got a few people here. We've got Ronnie and Watson Racing and Terry and Scott and Dustin and Lucas and Justin and Mike, another Mike and Steve. So thank you all for being here today. I see some of you know what my sign said last week, and I always write it down first thing in the morning on Tuesday morning. Okay, gotta change my sign. And I was last minute, right before the show started today, and I was like, what am I going to put on my sign? And it has not been the easiest day. I mean, first world problems, websites and super dorky, nerdy stuff. So those are my big complaints of the day. And because of that, it just always takes me back to gratitude, and that, just thank you. I mean, thank you for being here. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be here, to have a business and to have amazing relationship with our customers and our viewers. So I just wanted to put that out there. But it does remind me, though, I've got something to give away today. And I'll do this once the show is over. So I'm going to give a couple of these away because I have Crate Insider beef jerky. So I'll do a couple of these. So just if you want to just drop in a comment, I'll do a random number giveaway, just random number generator when this whole episode is over, and then I'll come back and I'll let you know if you're a winner. Or if you know what my sign said last week, you can drop that in as an option. And so I do 2 separate drawings each week, and it's a lot of fun. So our Crate Insider beef jerky, you can win this just for dropping in comments. So there we go. So the other new product I want to tell you guys about is also from KSE Racing Products. And in here, this is our Tandem fuel pump setup here. It's a whole kit. So in here we have whoops, there we go. It's a little bit, got some heft to it right here. But here's our Tandem fuel pump here, and it says outlet and inlet, all of that. That comes with the bypass regulator, which is pretty handy right there. It has a belt with it, and it has this bracket with some bolts. So it's a full kit to be able to run the bypass. And it even has instructions. I'm shocked. Very, very, very seldom do race car parts come with instructions. That makes me really happy. And now I'm really curious to tell you guys how much this stuff is, because I'd like to know so that I can tell you about it. Let me see here. So we have, you just type in here. So if you're on our website, you can just type in KSE and we'll see what happens here. Alrighty, so we've got the bypass regulator that I was showing you earlier, runs $148.75, and this KSE belt drive Tandem X pump bell housing kit, it runs $11.75 for this entire kit. So all of these things that we're seeing right here, where you've got the Tandem pump and the bracket and bolts and the belt and the bypass regulator. So all of those items together run $11.75. And we're gonna run into some of these pricing things too. Like I said, with Alex out, and I meant to ask Tori she didn't know to write down the prices, so I've got a little list here. Oh, here's a little, it's not really a public service announcement, but just kind of a heads up is that 602 engines are currently on back order from GM at least until the end of August. At least that's what I've been told. But if you or someone you know needs a 602, I personally have one left right now. So it's new, brand new in the crate, just came in. I ordered what I could, and I do have a 602 engine if there's somebody out there that who needs one. So if you need some work done to it, it'd probably take a couple of weeks. But if you just need a raw 602, I have one in stock that runs $4,051.01, I think. I was just checking those prices earlier today. So if you need someone with a 602, just let me know. All right, well with that, I'm gonna see we've got a few more people here. I see Terry. Terry, I love your sense of humor. Terry has dropped in the comment. So love your sense of humor, Terry. That's great. I see Logan's here, and Tommy and Alan and Dave and Andy and Mike. Mike is asking, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in here. Glad to answer questions that I can answer. Of course, our big Q&A show is now on Sundays, where I sit down with Steve Hendren from Hendren Racing Engines, and he has just a wealth of knowledge when it comes to any of the techie stuff. But I can normally answer a lot of these. So Mike is asking, are 604 valve springs on back order? That would be a huge yes right now. They are on back order. I am completely sold out of 604 Beehive valve springs. I apologize for that. I do what I can to try to keep stuff in stock as best I can, but right now it's unobtainium. Can't get them. I've got them on order from a couple of different places. They know it, and as soon as they're available, and I don't even have a date on those right now, so just kind of a heads up on that. But with that, let's go ahead and jump into our top 5 products this week. And that first one, I might bounce back and forth with some, oh, you know what? Let me go ahead and, since I did grab these products here, I am gonna drop in some links here. So I have a link here for the bypass regulator if you're interested. And let me drop that in here. There we go. Okay, hey, it's just like the old days. I used to do this show all by myself before, so it's not like it's the first time I've ever done this. Anyway, that I've dropped in the link for the bypass fuel regulator, and now I'm going to drop in a link to the Tandem fuel pump. See, there's a question on that. So does the KSE Tandem pump have a built-in fuel pressure regulator, or is it separate? And we have the bypass regulator, which would be that's how you would regulate your fuel pressure. So yeah, it's got the bypass regulator with it. And in fact, interestingly enough, you can click on that link. We literally took a picture this morning in this office and just put it up on the website. So this is it had a different picture yesterday, but you can see the exact products that are in that. And Tori did a beautiful job of taking those photos and putting them on the website there. So beautiful job there. Have to give her a big shout out for that. So of course, Tori's my assistant, and she does awesome work. But anyway, all right, so moving on, we're going to go into our top 5 products this week, and these are going to be based on what's been really popular for the week, and then I know I'll talk about them. Because that's what I do on this show, is talk about products. All right, so this first one in the number 5 spot this week is from DRP Performance, and that product is our bearing spacers for the Wide 5. These are an aluminum, the Wide 5, lightweight aluminum, and it's adjustable, so adjustable bearing spacers. What we've heard from our customers, from racers who use these, is it just allows your car to roll more freely. And a lot of times that's something we're really looking for, is the more we can free it up, the more we can pull out drag, and then we're really going to be helped. And of course, when you have less drag, you have more power. And especially with crate engines, when we've got that equality with engines and with horsepower, we've got what we've got. We want to try to look for every single advantage we can. And one of those advantages is if your car can roll more freely. If it rolls more freely, you just don't have as much friction. And friction is going to do nothing but hold you back. So we love these bearing spacers from DRP. They run $49 a piece, and these ones happen to be for the Wide 5. I do have, they make other ones too. Another one that I stock is the one for the Camaros. That is, and actually let me drop this link in here for you guys. And there we go. I'll drop that link in. And the other one that I carry from DRP that's a bearing spacer is for the Camaro front spindles, and that one is a steel bearing spacer, but it achieves the same thing. You want to be freer in how your wheels are moving. All right, next up in the number 4 spot this week is this isn't a new product, but it's a new-ish. If you were watching last week, we had Andy Garris here from Pro Fabrication Headers and Exhaust, and this is our newly revised. So I guess it's an updated product. So this is our anti-reversion muffler designed by Hendron Racing Engines, and now it's being produced by Pro Fabrication. On our website, it's under the brand of Hendron Racing Engines because they're the designer of this product. And I will drop in a link here. We sell them individually, or we sell them by the pair. They're probably a little more popular by the pair, and I'm gonna drop that in. So these run, and I did say the price of the bearing spacer, but these these mufflers, we also brought the price down a little bit too, which we were really, really happy to do. And now, so you're gonna save $20 over if you'd ordered them 6 months ago. So they're newly designed, and we brought the price down, so now it's $198 a pair or $99 each. Now, really the big advantage of anti-reversion mufflers is that you're not having those dead exhaust gases, because as exhaust is coming through your header, and it gets to the very end here, and you know, it's just like there's always that last bit of breath. I mean, if you were to like exhale, there's still always a little bit more, air in your mouth, right? So when you suck air back in, just like your engine would, you could have that dead air, that dead exhaust gas go back into your engine, and that would, prevent you from having the cleanest charge and the best charge. And in this case, what's inside of this is a little pocket that traps those dead exhaust gases, allows clean air to go into your engine, and because of it, at the end of the day, you get more torque. And we were just talking earlier about how, with horsepower, we have what we have, but we're always looking for those little pieces of torque, that little extra bit of torque we can get so that we can come off the corner a little bit faster. And, that can be the difference in a restart. It can be a difference around, turn 1 and 2. If you can get off that corner faster, or just having more torque, then the anti-reversion mufflers are a really good choice for that. So that's in our number 4 spot. All right, next up in the number 3 spot, well, it's interesting because this is also, apparently it says updated product day, because we've been selling the Crate Insider flat air filter base for a few years, and then here recently worked with another supplier to have these manufactured in the United States with with American-made aluminum. Also having them powder coated. So it's really interesting, because I have both of these bases. I have a mill finish that's the original, and then now I have the black powder coated. And what I can tell you, as far as performance, they're going to perform the same. There's really, I think anybody telling you that there's any difference, we have no data to say one way or the other. I don't think there's going to be a significant difference. I guess we could always test that. But the bigger difference is, aluminum is malleable. So since aluminum is malleable, it means it can dent. And I know that when I first started selling these Crate Insider flat air filter bases, like one day I turned around and I bumped into a file cabinet and I dented the side. So with our standard mill finish, that's going to happen. You're just going to get dents in them. That's why I have some of the scratch and dent air filter bases and lids. But what I have to say is with these powder coated, it really adds a measure of strength to them. So I'm just not going to dent it. I'm not going to take my chances because it's just so pretty. I don't really want to mess it up. And, just this extra little bit of updated, this extra doing powder coating, we're not overcharging for it either. It's just $10 more than the standard mill finish, and I will drop a link in there. And now we do sell this with the seal, so you can, when you get this, you can put the seal on, drop it right onto your carburetor, you're ready to go. And this will run $109.50 for our black powder coated Crate Insider flat air filter base. And where is it? It's gonna be somewhere here. That's the wrong one. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Make her grab the link here and drop it in. Okay, and I see we've got some more people who joined us. I see Daryl's here, longtime, oh, hang on here. A longtime viewer, so thank you for being here, Daryl. And Brian and Jeremiah. Oh, and Jeremiah's got a new video dropping. He's got a great YouTube channel. Go ahead and drop that in there for us too, Jeremiah. Love your videos. I was just talking about them the other day with someone. And I see Bill is here, so thank you so much for being here. All right, next up, that was number 3. And number 2 is, I talked about these a couple weeks ago, I think. I've certainly been selling a lot of them. And this is actually a really fun story, you guys. So I'm going to talk about Race Fan here for a moment. So when you get this, when you order it, you're going to get a hub, you get blades, and then there's probably some hardware in here too. I don't usually put the hardware on when I'm doing this on the show, just because it takes a little bit of effort to put the hardware in, to be perfectly honest. But when I first got these Race Fans and I saw the price point being so much higher than what we were charging for just like a basic steel fan, I was like, man, people are gonna yell at me, I'm gonna get beat up on this and all of that. And the next thing you know, I was calling up Ken from Race Fan saying, you know, we've got these 19-inch fans, but man, people really want 17-inch fans. You know, can you make a 17-inch fan? So Ken made a 17-inch fan. And then before I knew it, then he had a 15-inch fan. So these have been started to be used in all kinds of different cars. And the cool thing about it is you just saw I was just kind of sliding those blades in there. I mean, obviously you'd put the hardware in there to keep it all together. And then I love the fact that right here on the hub, it even tells you about torquing the nuts to 144 foot-pounds, I think, of torque there, which is fantastic. Then you know exactly how tight to make those bolts on your hardware. But with this fan, you can go with a 4-blade. You can knock this down to a 3-blade, or you could be a 2-blade, or you could go 6, but we're not going to use a 6 anywhere like with Crate engines. And with the 4-blade fan, I should know the price on that. I want to say it's $265, but I will look really quick here and drop that in. So depending on, and in fact, when I drop in this link, I'm just going to drop in the link for all of the Race fans so you can pick, you know, what size you would want, how many blades you would want, all of that. But a 4-blade fan, and it doesn't matter which of them, whether you go with the 15, 17, or 19, they run $265 for the Race fan, and that is in the number 2 spot. All right, and lastly, okay, I think I've been kind of saying hi to folks along the way here, and so I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into the top product this week. Got to get my knife, and I'm gonna open this up because this one's a favorite. Well, obviously it's on Top 5 Tuesday, so you know it's a favorite product, but thank you, Captain Obvious, right? So this is from our friends at LSM Racing Products, and I just got another shipment. What did I do? Just like not open this up right, or what did I do here? There we go. Oh, okay, there we go. Just, I don't know, tight box. Anyway, inside of here is our LSM Racing Products, a valve spring changer, and yeah, so when you're changing valve springs, you know, if you can get valve springs, because that's a whole nother challenge, you know, looking for a solid tool that's going to last you for years to come, then the LSM Racing Products valve spring changer is a fantastic way to go. This is heavy duty. This is the 6061 T6 aluminum, and you know, so it's hardcore. Again, manufactured in the United States. Love everybody over at LSM Racing Products. Always been fantastic to work with. They were somebody we discovered at PRI a few years ago, and they were kind enough to allow me to become a dealer, and then of course they were some of the first videos I made, and we've just developed this longer term relationship that has just been fantastic, and I truly value it. Now speaking of that, oh, and by the way, you know what I love, look at this, how cool this is. These come wrapped in this egg carton foam, so you know this isn't a tool you're going to use every single day unless you're an engine builder and that's what you do is change valve springs. But you know, here you've got a way to protect your tool when you're not using it, and I just love that little extra bit of care that's taken, and so you just don't feel like it was just thrown into a box. You feel like that they really care about, you know, keeping, you know, providing you with a quality product, and so you're buying a quality product and they want to treat it in a quality way, and I think that's fantastic. And I even love that it has some little papers in here as well. So that is from our friends at LSM Racing Products, and our valve spring changer, it runs 2 something, you know, which is always great. Then this was, I'll be real for a second, knowing prices was really, really easy when it was my first year and we had like 50 products, but now we've got like 800 and something, and prices tend to change over the course of time. And so that's the way it goes. So that valve spring changer runs $218.98, and let me drop that link in here as well so you can get that. Now you can also do the added bonus of going with the speed handle and adding the speed handle to it, and I think that adds like $49 or $49.99, right around there. So I see Eric is here and Steve, and Jim says the COVID thing has parked a lot of race cars and shut down a lot of tracks. Hope things turn around soon. Jim, I'm 100% with you. I think, you know, I think that's, you know, taking a look at my sign today, when it comes to all of this, if there's not a renewed sense of gratitude and being grateful for what we do have, you know, being grateful for when we can race. I will give you the update on PRI. There's no real answer yet. Currently, you know, hotels are being booked. There's not a solid answer. It's still up in the air because of COVID. And actually, I talked to PRI last week, and I let them know how valuable their show is to not just my business, but to the racers who, you know, watch my show or any of my videos. To the manufacturers, my phone's burning up with hearing from manufacturers like, oh my God, what are we gonna do if the show's not allowed to continue, you know? So, you know, it really makes me grateful for the opportunities we do have. I'm very grateful for all of you being here, you know, and if I can lend any insight that can help with any of your racing programs, I'm so grateful to be able to do that. And especially having, you know, the tools that we have today with social media and video. So there we go. It mentioned, so I've got a question here. Nick says, you mentioned the bearing spacer for the spindles. What so those run you Camaro spindles? Let me grab that for you really quick, Nick, and drop that in here for the link so you can take a look at those. They've been a very popular item for some of my, especially my street stock customers who are running these, and they run $60 each. And I will reply here with a link there. There we go. So that is basically all I have for today. I would say definitely check out our show Unsealed, whether you see it on Facebook or on YouTube, or if you want to check out our podcast, RacingInsidersPodcast.com. Let me check one thing, because there's something when we talk about YouTube quite a bit, and I have more than one YouTube channel, just saying, because I do, and depending on what it is I'm talking about. But there is an exciting race. I want to make sure that it's up today, because if this is the case, this is really amazing. Yes, it is. I have a must see for you guys. I'm gonna be sharing this with some of the Facebook groups, the legacy Facebook groups. But this is a race from 1991. So I have a YouTube channel called Racing Rewind. The quick way to get there is you can go to RacingRewind.com, and it'll actually just redirect you over to YouTube. It'll take you right to the YouTube channel, and makes it easy, because YouTube channels are hard to give links to. So I have this channel where I'm showing old racing videos. So this is, you know, people send me VCR tapes, I digitize them, put them up on this channel. And this one happens to be a race from July 8th of 1991. Big hitters on this one. There's interviews with Billy Moyer and interviews with also with Scott Bloomquist, but you also have racers like Freddie Smith and Mike Duvall. It's incredible. So definitely check it out. I just dropped a link to that particular episode right there. So anyway, that is all I have for today. I will go do my random number generator. I'll come back on here and let you guys know who the winners are of a beef jerky. But in the meantime, I want to thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being part of the show and for being part of Crate Insider. And I will look forward to seeing you. I'll be back on Sunday on Unsealed. Otherwise, I'll be back here next Tuesday at 2 o'clock Eastern for Top 5 Tuesday. Have a great week.